Imagine that you had a box that contained 1 ton of rocks. You didn't want to buy the 1 ton of rocks, you only wanted to buy 2/3 of the rocks. Those rocks happen to be brown and white, and you only wanted to buy 2/3 of this box. So let's just imagine here that I'm going to cut this into thirds. Imagine these are equal. And out of those, I don't want to buy that one. I just want to buy this much. 1, 2. That's it. Forget about these for a while. These are not important to our particular equation right now. So let's just deal with those. This is actually called a folded paper problem. And it's just kind of interesting to kind of visualize what's going on when we talk about these fractions. So now 2/3 of those rocks are brown and white. Again, let's pretend those don't exist. I'd like to cover it with something, but I don't have anything. Oh, I'll just take this cup. There. Ta-da! Those don't exist anymore. Now, out of those rocks that we have, we imagine that 1/4 of those happen to be white. Well, how can I cut those into 4 pieces? Well, I cut them this way before. I'm going to cut them this way now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see, ignore this line for a second, that if I had this amount of rocks, I've cut it into 4 pieces, and only one of those is white. So I'm just going to shade that one. That's the white one, right over there. Those are white rocks. So the question is how much of a ton is that amount? Well, let's look at the whole box again. We did only take this amount. We only bought this amount originally, but if we had this, we can see that that third also could have been cut into 4 pieces because we have these new weird little pieces. So we've got 2 of these weird little pieces, but how many of them do we have? Well, if I had imagined that that third that we didn't buy originally was also cut into the same size pieces, now I can see that we've got 2 out of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces. So technically, 2 out of 12, or 2/12 of a ton of the rocks are white. If you know how to simplify, you know that you could also name this 1/6 of a ton are white. Now later on, or maybe your teacher's already teaching you that you could just multiply whenever you do an of problem. That means when you're talking about 1/4 of 2/3, what you're really doing is you're taking 2/3 and you're multiplying it by 1/4. If you do that, you can do what's called multiplication across. 2 times 1 is 2, 3 times 4 is 12. You end up with 2/12 of a ton. And again, that can also be considered 1/6 of a ton. Yeah, and that's how you do it, but that's the reason why it works. Anyway, I hope this helps and it wasn't too confusing. It's just kind of a cool way to show that the math actually works. Anyway, good luck.